All right, so we're going to continue with the laws of sailing on Shabbat, whether and when it is permitted. So we spoke before that it is permitted to board a ship on Shabbat if it's lidva mitzvah, for the purpose of a mitzvah, saving someone, helping someone, going for a dvar mitzvah. But for personal matters, it is only allowed if you get on the voyage 3 days before Shabbat. Now, Rabbi Yosef asked, what is 3 days before Shabbat? Is it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Or Shabbat one of the 3 days, so then you can already go on from Thursday. So then you have Thursday, Friday, and Shabbat. And the answer is, it includes Shabbat, so you have to go, the last day to go on the ship would be on Thursday. So that way you have Thursday, Friday, and Shabbat. And the reason he says is that when it's salty waters, like in the oceans, it takes 3 days just to get accustomed and attuned to the matters of the voyage of Shabbat, and you can get seasick from salty waters. When you're talking about lakes that are not salty waters, like anywhere in the world, I don't know, maybe you're somewhere, and there's a lake that you like to go on, there is a distinction, and you're allowed to go on, and you don't really get seasick. You can't really get river sick with salty waters. So it is allowed to go on a ship even on Friday if you wish, only if the waters are more than 10 amot deep into the ground, because then if it's under than 10 tfachim, then it's considered that you're on the ground and you have the problem of tchumin, which is traveling a long distance on the day of Shabbat, and that is not allowed. But what happens when you get off? Let's say you're on you went on a cruise many days before Shabbat, and you were destined to get there maybe Friday morning, there's a delay, and you arrive at your destination on Shabbat itself. Are you allowed to get off the cruise or the boat on Shabbat? So what would be the question? You're getting off that and you're going onto dry land on Shabbat itself. Is there or is there not an issue? Because again, you're in an entity, you're in a ship, and then you're going into a different space, into the ground. He says over there, if the majority of the passengers are not Jewish, so the cruise is there and they're opening up the maybe the walking rail to get onto the dock, and you happen to be Jewish and you're also there and you're using what they made for everybody else, then it is allowed. And he brings a story from the Gemara itself that it happened with Rabban Gamliel, Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, and Rabbi Akiva. They themselves got and they docked on after Shkia on Shabbat itself, and they noticed that two things. They noticed that they opened the rail after Shabbat got in, but they opened it not for themselves but for everybody else. And for them, they also realized that they got near the port, pretty close to the port before Shkia, so they didn't have a problem of tchumin, which is various different territories on Shabbat. This only applies to a boat, a ship, but it does not apply to a railway or a train or anything else like that. We are not allowed to ride trains on Shabbat, for that matter, that go these far distances, because it is a very different situation than the boats. Amen. See you all tomorrow morning.